Hello, everyone. This is Omni Talk Retail. I'm Chris Walton.
And I'm Ann Mazinga.
And we are coming to you once again. It's the start of the afternoon here.
It is.
Day 2, I guess.
Day
two,
two.
maybe day 3, depending on how you want to look at it, of the World Retail Congress of 2025. We're again at the VusionGroup's booth, which is in the Grand Ballroom Foyer, right outside the main stage. You can come on by, stop in, say hello. We'd love to connect with you. All right, Ann, our next guest. He's getting a lot of rave reviews for his his panel earlier this morning. Like, people are excited that we're talking to him.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Yes. So I am excited to introduce to you Sjoerd Holleman, the SVP and a member of the executive board at Albert Heijn. You are our first Albert Heijn representative we've ever interviewed. So welcome to Omni Talk.
Great, love to be here.
I'd love to hear a little bit about your background first, and then if you don't mind, kind of giving people who may not be familiar a little bit about Albert Heijn too.
Yeah. Should we start there, Albert Heijn?
Yeah, let's do it.
You just tell us where to go.
Let's just go there. Albert Heijn is the leading omnichannel food retailer, supermarket chain in the Netherlands. And we're truly omnichannel. So we basically have a huge e-commerce business, home delivery. And we have over 1,200 stores across the whole country and the north of Belgium as well. And we tend to see ourselves a little bit as a food tech company.
Okay.
So it's not just food, it's not just tech, it's food tech. Where it comes together, we try to be at the forefront of innovation. And so we love to do that. We have 125,000 colleagues in the Netherlands.
Wow.
So one of the biggest private employers in the Netherlands. And many of them are actually Gen Zs, youngsters. So over 100,000 are actually young.
Really?
So we talk a lot about, also in the panel, about what's going to happen, customers, how is behavior changing, etc. But we actually employ them, my colleagues. I have 100,000 Gen Z colleagues, so we learn a lot from them, and it's really nice to see.
And how long have you been with Albert Heijn?
I've been with Albert Heijn 10 years now, but Albert Heijn is part of Ahold Delhaize, so a bigger group. I think you met our CEO the other day.
Yes, we did.
And with Ahold Delhaize, I've been for 22 years already, so it's been a very long time.
Okay.
So I've done all sorts of things. It's such a big company, you can do all sorts of things and different backgrounds.
I bet. And what is your job role specifically?
Yeah, so currently I'm responsible for both strategy for Albert Heijn, and I'm responsible for product management, analytics, and data science. So basically strategy and technology, the combination.
All right. Okay. All right. So have you been to WRC before, or is this your first time?
No, this is my first time.
It's your first time?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How are you finding it?
It's great. It's so nice to meet so many peers, so many people that are in similar business, but some of them are quite different, even though it's retail, because retail is a very broad spectrum. But it's so nice to hear everybody's dealing with the same sort of challenges.
So you'll be coming back.
Yeah, I'll definitely be coming back.
Well, you were on stage today. I'd love to get a sense from you what you talked about on stage and what you hope that the audience took away. Because as we mentioned, Chris mentioned, we've been hearing all about it. So tell us what we missed.
We had a very good discussion on so how are customers changing with all the different things going on. So on one side, the population is aging.
Yes.
So we're going, and it's changing behavior there. We need a lot more need for healthy products. Older customers being still very looking at brands they used to buy when they were younger as well, and they're very loyal to that. But on the other hand, you have the Gen Z that is just looking at social for the latest trends and buying that. So they're actually a little bit more loyal to the trend than to the brand.
Right.
Which is an interesting dynamic. But also, at Albert Heijn, I think we have 4.7 million customers every week, unique customers, not transactions. So, and they're all very different, and we need all the technology and the data, etc., to cater them well and to really help them shop well with us and make them very loyal. And that's been quite successful over the last.
Yeah. So I was talking to somebody beforehand. He said you brought up some interesting. I don't know if it's you or somebody else on the panel brought up some interesting statistic about the number of older people and how that demographic is going to change and the scope by which it's going to change and some of the impacts you expect to feel in the business. What were some of those?
Yeah, I think what you see is that older people, smaller households, so all of a sudden you need smaller portion sizes. People are very much more health conscious. They want to grow old, but they want to grow old healthily. So they're looking for different products than they might have done before.
Sure.
Especially because the group is going to become so large. If you look at Western Europe, it is the Netherlands is exactly the same. The group is going to be very, very large. So it's something to really cater to and to really understand our customers and cater to that.
What about shopping behaviors? I mean, as a primarily online grocery retailer, what are you noticing about each of those populations and how they're shopping?
Yeah, in terms of, we're not just online grocers. So we have,
Yes,
I think
yes.
about just over 10% of our business is online.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you the percentage. Yeah,
And then,
10%.
I think it's 12 or something
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
And then but we are truly omnichannel. So whatever you see online, what you do online, and you get home delivered, your experience is going to be the same as in the store.
Yes.
Our app is our main way of contact of having our connection and engagement with our customers.
Yes.
Because basically we grew our app, I think 4 or 5 years ago. We had 200,000 users. Now we have 5 million active users. So
Oh my God.
We really scaled that all the way up. Wow. And by adding
How?
we digitalized anything we had. We digitalized, made it in the app, made it the focal point for our first loyalty step, and we just built it from there.
It's got to be a gold mine for a data and analytics guy like
that's
you.
what we do.
You like that, huh?
Yeah, and really, it's never data or technology for the sake of data.
Yeah,
It's all for the customer or for the employees to really help them and see where the value is and really drive that home. So
Right.
that's really cool.
All right, sir. So I gotta ask you. I was going through this thought experiment with someone right before you came on, and I was saying to him, like, if I look at how I shop for groceries, and this could be a country of origin thing, who knows? But as I look at how I shop for groceries, I shop for them pretty similar to how my parents shop for them, and my parents shop for them similar to how their parents shop for them. Is that true, or do you take issue with that kind of?
take issue with
Okay,
that.
tell me why. Yeah, I want to know
No,
why.
I think first of all, you see much more combined households also.
Okay,
So we talked about that in the podium as well. So you now have, say, if a family of 4, one is gluten intolerant, one wants to eat vegetarian, the other one's doing sports and wants to have more protein, and the other one wants to be no longer in the kitchen in 20 minutes preparing that. So how do you deal with that? There's much more diverse demand and personal experience and personal preferences that comes back than when I was young.
Yeah.
I just ate whatever my parents gave me.
Right.
That's what we do.
So what I'm buying is different. Is how I'm shopping different, and how so?
Yeah, it's for me. It's much more. What I see is much more digital. So our app is
right. Makes sense.
Also, of those 5 million app users, I think 300,000, 400,000 every week do their e-commerce shopping with it. But the others go to the store, but also interact with us digitally. So that's why we also think on how can we help all these customers. Just for example, what I just said on these families. So if you're a family of 4 and you have all these characteristics, so we now build GenAI assistant in the app. We actually gave him a name and a little face after practicing a lot. And it actually answers those questions. So if you say, I'm going to cook dinner for 8 people tonight, two are vegetarian, one wants protein, the other one has a shellfish allergy, and I need to be in 20 minutes, and what can I do? Prepare the day before. It just gives you all the recipes to choose from. One click, it's on your list or on your e-commerce shop, and it's really driving customers. So in the first week when we announced it, it was already 150,000 users straight.
Oh my gosh.
So it's a great example on how technology answers a question that we already have and really drives value.
And how are you seeing adoption of something like that? Is it Gen Z that's doing that primarily, or are you seeing that across all age demographics?
We're seeing it across all age demographics. I think the older customers are a little bit tougher to take on board, but that's another challenge for us. Let's make the user experience so intuitive that they can tag along with it. And it's been quite successful so far.
Wow. Yeah. Well, thanks for proving me wrong too, because I 100% agree with you. Now that I'm thinking about it, you're right. My shopping habits are very different based on the omnichannel nature of how we all shop and how we interact with things digitally. So that was great. Thank you. All right. Well, let's close out this interview with getting you out of here on this question. What are you focused on in your role for the balance of the year and as you look to 2026 even?
Yeah. No, I think, as I said, so we've done a lot about digitalization. So all app first, digitalize our stores, etc. So now we have these 5 million users in the app. So we're really happy with that. How can we make it more personal for you? Why do you see exactly the same as that I see? And not only the offers, but also the content. So real content orchestration.
Right.
How do I, if you're a vegetarian, I don't want to ever show you some meat or whatever again, because you're just a vegetarian. It should all be blending in with you, also from the content, the recipes, the inspiration, everything you see. So it's much more richer experience. That's what my focus is.
Got it.
How do you think about that when you're talking about that individual household that has different shoppers in it too? Are you able to get, or is that on the roadmap somewhere in the future, to get down to the level of my son has a shellfish allergy, he goes in by himself to go purchase something, he might be using the same app that our family has. Like, where do you see that going, that level of personalization?
Yeah, so basically we have our bonus card, it's called, so it's the loyalty card. So we do store as much data as we can, and people allow us to on that, because we've got strict rules to that and we adhere to
right.
that. And we try to get deeper and deeper into the consumer just to really help them and make their life easier. But yeah, there's always new frontiers.
Right, right. Wow.
That's a really interesting question, though, with like the digital payments shaping the landscape and understanding who's in the store shopping through those conduits. It's a really interesting question, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to stop by. Thanks to all of you who've been following along of our coverage here at the World Retail Congress. And finally, thank you to VusionGroup for making all of our coverage here at the show possible. Stay tuned. We have more interviews to come. And until then,
be careful out there.